Let me tell you the story of Brad. Brad is a young graduate from a good school. He's ready for work. But the question is, what work? Should he go for the highest paying job? According to the World Economic Forum 10 years ago, 41% of young graduates said that the highest paying job was the right job. But according to the BBC survey this year, that has risen to 71%. So that would be a normal decision for a young person like Brad. But what about something he actually loves? See, Brad loves movies, particularly Marvel movies. In fact, the happiest day of his life was being in the cinema during Avengers Endgame, when Tony Stark said, "I am Iron Man," and snapped. And he says that it is the happiest day of his life in front of his girlfriend, even happier than the day she said yes to him. She doesn't love that. But what about what Brad is good at? Brad was always good at fixing things. In fact, when he was young, he was always the one to fix remote controls, TVs and radios. And he only got better after studying computer science and being the best in class. But also, Brad is considering doing something the world actually needs. He sees the lakes polluted and his city being run to the ground, and he believes the world needs leaders who are full of integrity and are willing to stand up for the little guy. Brad is at the perfect crossroads. Do I do what I love, what I can be paid the most for, what I am good at, or what the world needs? Brad's answer is all the way in Japan, buried in the philosophy of Ikigai, which says the right job is all and none of them. Hi, I'm Jeremiah again. Knowing what the right job is the most important step in your career. But the phrase right job is heavy with context. What is a job? What is right? In order to apply communication effectively in your professional journey, you need clarity. You need clarity about your career. And we can get that from Ikigai. The Japanese concept of Ikigai is Venn diagram meets philosophy. There are 4 circles of Ikigai: what you love, what you're good at, what you are paid for, and what the world needs. The intersection of what you love and are good at is your passion. The intersection of what you are good at and are paid for, your profession. The intersection of what you are paid for and the world needs is your vocation. And finally, where what the world needs and what you love intersects is your mission. And right at the center of it all is Ikigai, where what you love, are good at, what you're paid for, and the world needs all converges into one absolute perfection. But first, in order to find this perfect spot, you need to identify all of these circles. Firstly, what do you love? What can you do for hours and not feel tired? What gets your blood flowing, your heart thumping, feeling excited when you're doing? Number 2, what are you good at? What can no one else beat you in? And I don't mean general things, I mean specific skills like running, math, accounting, public speaking. What are you extraordinary at? That's the second question. Number 3, what are you paid for? What is paying you now? What do you observe in the market are the highest paying careers or skills? The highest paying careers that we know currently or have known for the past 10 years are tech, medicine, consulting, private equity, etc. So that is what you are paid for, or that is what the world is willing to pay you the most for. And finally, what does the world need? Look at strong leadership, mentorship, volunteering, cleaning up the environment. These are things the world needs. Now, once you identify all of these things, you're ready to start. But how do you progress from being a job seeker and along one of these paths? The first one that I want to recommend for you, the first path I would recommend to you, is start by developing what you are good at. Identify opportunities that pay for them. So develop what you are good at. If you have a skill that you are particularly extraordinary at, if you have an ability, a career that you are extraordinary at, continue to develop it until you are the best in it and identify opportunities that pay for them. Now, as you rise in your career by being so excellent at what you do in a high-paying job, you can incorporate what you love into your role. As an entry-level employee, you just do what you're told. But as a manager, you can incorporate much more of your passion into what you do. If you love singing, for example, you can have your mental health day in your company be a karaoke night. You can have monthly book readings if you love reading, for example. But as you rise in your career, you gain the ability to be able to incorporate more of what you love into your role. And finally, after you've been able to incorporate what you love into your role, you use your power and capital to address what the world needs. So, at this point, you've risen in your career, you have more power to incorporate what you love into what you do, and now you have the money and the power to use your capital to do what the world needs that may not pay as much. This works. Most top companies allow their corporations or their employees to be able to do this at a higher level. But also, one of the things you need to be good at, it doesn't matter whether you will be the best at it or not, is communication. And if you follow this series, we will help you do exactly that. So, what is the right job? The right job rarely exists for beginners, honestly. Or better still, the ideal Ikigai job. Usually, the right job is your profession, what you are good at and pays you well. But as you gain experience, emphasize your value and you can incorporate the rest. And even if you cannot, Ikigai does not have to come just from your job. Your job does not have to be everything for you. You can have a profession in engineering, pursue your passion for singing during the weekends, deliver impact projects in a private practice as your vocation, and volunteer for mentorship programs in the evenings as your mission. Both paths are valid. This week, we have looked into how you can identify the right job. Next week, we will look at understanding job ads and how to know if it is the right job for you. In the meantime, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. Subscribe, share, and take the next step in becoming the perfect communicator.